I'm Sean, and this is based on a crude story. When I was 7 years old, my mom would get me ready every day before school, a place where I was affectionately nicknamed Twig Boy because of my skeleton-like stature. She would throw together an outfit, then attempt to comb the rat's nest that I called my hair. One morning, as she brushed through it, she shrieked. I turned around suddenly, and with all the seriousness of an Academy Award actor, she informed me that I had a gray hair. I sprinted to the mirror, closely inspecting my scalp, convinced that my dating life was over before it could even begin. This Twig Boy would have no Twig Girl. When her laugh subsided, she informed me that it was an April Fool's joke. It's what makes being a parent worth it, messing with your kids in ways that emotionally scar them with subtlety and finesse. I filed away that practical joke inside my brain like a fine bottle of Pinot Noir. A week before my 17th birthday, it was time to pop the cork and savor my revenge. It was then that I stumbled onto the ultimate prank tool: IP Relay. It was a completely free service designed to provide assistance to the deaf. Navigate to the website and get connected to a live operator over chat. That operator would then call anyone you wanted. What you type would be verbalized to the person you were calling, and what that person would say would be typed back to you by the operator. We tested it innocently enough, making phone calls to say hello or ask a friend what they were up to, but we soon turned an amazing public service into a torrent of debauchery that would send the nearest phone sex operator to confessional. One fateful day, a friend of mine, Jake, scored tickets to a live taping of the Best Damn Sports Show in West Los Angeles. For an immature, sports-obsessed teen, it was like seeing the Beatles at Madison Square Garden. I begged my parents to let me go. Against their better judgment, they said yes. My friends and I piled into Jake's 72 Chevy Nova, a black, rusty beast of exhaust which would have been better measured by gallons to the mile. Its engine would roar so loudly at night that Jake would turn it off a block away and push it home in neutral so he wouldn't wake his parents. In between listening to us bitch about the lack of radio and air conditioning, Jake made a wrong turn, and we ended up missing the taping. We decided to head back home with a few hours to kill. As we rolled through his cul-de-sac, his Nova tipped off a few neighborhood girls that we'd returned like an air raid siren. They were bored and wanted to be entertained, so they followed us inside his house. It's then that inspiration struck, or maybe more accurately, it was a satanic possession of my subconscious. I wordlessly led everyone into Jake's room to his computer. I pulled up IP Relay with my sights set on my newest victim: my own mother. I'd like to say that there was an angel on my shoulder that could have acted as the voice of reason, but my teenage hormones were at maximum rage levels. I wanted to impress the gaggle of girls standing over my shoulder. I entered my house number. This is an IP Relay call for Sue. Yes, this is she. As the operator explained what IP Relay was, I cracked my knuckles and typed my opening salvo. This is Officer Bridges with the West Hollywood Police Department. Is everything okay? We detained your son Sean earlier today and have him in custody. I don't understand. What did he do? I rubbed my acne-covered forehead before typing it out, letter by regretful letter. Solicitation of a male prostitute. What? Is this some kind of sick joke? Ma'am, my disability is not a joke. Under the ADA, I have just as much of a right to be a police officer as anyone else. I not only twisted the knife, I made sure it was covered in rust. I apologize. I'm sure you're qualified to do your job. May I have your badge number, please? I turned to my group of friends when Millie blurted out, 4790914. She shrugged. It's my dad's cell phone number. I would like to talk to my son now, please. We ended the conversation with her expecting my imminent call. Now, at this point, I could have ended the prank and blamed it on someone playing a sick joke on me. That would be the logical thing to do. Instead, I decided to push all in on the asshole jackpot. I put Jake's phone on speaker and dialed my house. Hello? Mom? Oh my god, this is real? Yeah, and I have something else to tell you. What? I'm gay. This is probably what took my mom most by surprise. Not necessarily that I went to jail, it was the sudden realization that her teenage son, who had Sports Illustrated models plastered on his walls, may have preferred issues of Tiger Beat instead. I couldn't let this go another second longer. I'm just kidding, it's a prank. I learned quickly that this is not an excuse that absolves you of blame or white-knuckled rage. Where are you? I'm at Jake's. I'm coming to get you, now! My friends paid their condolences. Nate offered me a part of his sandwich almost as though he knew it would be my last meal. I was a dead man walking. I can't be certain, but I think her anger may have ripped a hole in space-time. I lived at least 10 minutes away from Jake's house, and I promise you she got there in 8 seconds flat. I stood in his driveway as she barreled down the street. She screeched into his driveway and I climbed into the passenger seat. Tears streamed down her face. I had a grin on mine. And let me tell you, it was not because I necessarily found this scene particularly amusing, as it was a defense mechanism from the fear that now gripped every fiber of my humanity. You think this is funny? Of course I was going to profusely apologize. This is what you do when you push your loving mother to her wit's end. You make amends and atone for your deplorable behavior, right? Yeah, kinda. Foot? Meat gun. Well, we'll see how funny this is when your father gets home. Not only did the fat lady sing, she turned out the lights and took her ball home. It was all over for me. 16 glorious years on this earth, and with my birthday 5 days away, I wasn't gonna make it to the 17th. When I got back to my room, I lied across my bed, wondering who would deliver my eulogy. If only my dog could talk. She had plenty of nice things to say. My sister was probably making a mental checklist of what I'd bequeath to her. My mom would make sure I looked amazing for a final viewing in an open casket. My dad would stand trial for ending my life. If the jury was filled with parents, I'm sure they'd chokingly leniency and call it justifiable homicide. After the adrenaline wore off, I drifted to sleep, hoping my passing to the afterlife would be a smooth transition. Maybe I wouldn't even wake up when he smothered me. I heard the front door slam and my eyes shot wide open. Where is he? My mom sold me out quicker than a Led Zeppelin reunion tour. I paid my final respects. Yahweh, Jesus, Allah. His hand reached for the doorknob. Buddha, Krishna, Ali Selassie. It swung open. Zeus, Flying Spaghetti Monster, Joe Pesci. Have a seat. I was already sitting. So you think it's funny that your mother and I care about you? No. Your mother was very upset, and when she gets upset, I get upset. Then he played the ultimate parental trump card. The Uno, the Domino, the walk-off grand slam. I'm not even angry, I'm just disappointed. My parents didn't believe in spanking, but I would have rather picked out my own bamboo shoot and opted for 50 lashes than see the sheer letdown on his face. My parents grounded me for the first time, and maybe I got off easy, all things considered. But my birthday was only days away, so it wasn't exactly a slap on the wrist. They also took away my phone and internet privileges during the heart of summer break. I might as well have been living in the dark ages. But even my parents couldn't be mad for long. They ended up taking me to the movies that week to watch Seabiscuit. And as corny as it may sound, seeing that horse triumph over its own obstacles made me feel a little bit better about my whole situation. In November 2014, the FCC closed down IP Relay due to, and I quote, complaints that people without disabilities who are posing as deaf or hard of hearing consumers are misusing internet-based telecommunications relay service. In other words, assholes like me shut down a useful service to the deaf community. So while my mom may have tricked me into thinking that I had a gray hair, I imagine my prank created real ones for her. And for that, I'm sorry, Mom. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be coming out with a new video every single month on the first day of the month. I just said that twice. Okay.